Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update for Thursday, January 14th, 2021. Bitcoin mounting another assault on the $40,000 all-time highs. I think we crested over 40K sometime in the last few hours. Currently pulled back to below 40K, just touching under 40K. Yep, around 39,400. What will come next? Are we prepared for a blow off top? Are we going to reverse? Are we going to reject and reverse from here? What are your positions like, traders? Have you FOMO'd into this epic bull run of the 2020s? To discuss all this and more, we have Alex and Jason with us. Alex, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Not too bad. How about Jason?
Oh, you know, just making money, loving life.
Indeed, I hope everybody in the chat is making money and enjoying another wonderful day here with all the crypto excitement in the air. What more could we want? Another charge toward new all-time highs. Life is good. Crypto portfolios are looking good. Green across the board in alt land. And potentially the big crypto winter has been canceled. Potentially. Might still be a big
canceling
pullback.
It already, huh?
Could be. I mean, we do. Remember how bullish of a tone we left yesterday's show off with?
Yeah, and guess what? Took a 4-hour position right after we left the show, and that worked out beautifully.
Yeah, you posted that to the group right after the show, and that was a killer 4-hour trade.
I believe at 31. Where do we enter at? 34,164, I believe.
That's not too shabby.
Not bad at all. If you remember,
all in a day's work.
Yesterday, after winding down the show, I almost thought to myself, man, did we oversell the alt cycle? But waking up to today's alt gains, I don't think we did.
Alt season,
at the very least, I can't guarantee that alts are going to explode through the roof. But if you bought yesterday and held on, then you're probably in the green. So.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. It seems like we are performing exceptionally well, and all the bears have been potentially trapped and now buying and getting out of their positions at this point. Let me just adjust a little something here. You want to get dialed in the audio levels just right. All right, let's get back to what I was saying. Yes, one look at crypto bubbles this morning shows us a sea of green. One of the biggest gainers of the day is a Voyager token. Not too familiar with Voyager, but it's up 45%. Indeed, we are on a grand voyage to the stars, gentlemen. We got AAVE, I guess Avalanche. This one seems to be trending pretty hard in recent weeks. Avalanche up 20%.
We've got an Avalanche long on for the group.
Ah, right on. All right, so we get another solid trade that I imagine.
We're fighting gravity over here.
Have we hit TP1 on that trade?
Let me see.
I imagine the
What's the current price?
Current price is $9.30.
Yes, we hit take profit 1, which was $8.72.53.
All right, another successful
trade.
Put
it in the bag.
Yeah, put that one up on the board, gentlemen. We got another successful trade here at CC. DOT up another 20%. I think DOT is at all-time highs. DOT, I think, moved into the number 5 spot on CoinMarketCap.
It's like the one that got away for a lot of us. I know that.
It did, totally. I knew it was quality.
It's weird because we've talked about it a lot.
We did. Unfortunately, I sleep on alt sometimes. I'm too much of a maximalist, and I just stack sats after sat.
You're making fine gains.
And I'm doing fine, but no, DOT looks like a killer product coming to the crypto space. So, I mean, it's number 5 spot on the market cap reflects it.
My feelings on DOT, I feel like, are a great analogy for when people are in the disbelief phase of the market. You're like, no, of course this will pull back more. This has to correct more. It's got to go down more. This is just, I don't buy this pump, because obviously if you thought it was just going to go through the roof, you'd be like, well, let me pick some up here.
You're already biased.
Yeah. But, due to other factors in the market, you're just, I guess, perhaps not seeing the reality of the situation fully. Or at least, I guess, obviously we didn't see the reality of the situation fully, or else we would have, picked it up at 450, or when it dipped down into 720 2 nights ago.
Indeed, that buying the pullback the other day. I probably will be kicking myself to the end of time for not executing on my original plan. But
what do you mean? You still long from 31?
No, I mean buying DOT. I told myself, listen, the next big pullback on DOT, I'm finally gonna acquire a bag, and I slept on it. It looked kind of droopy. I thought I'd be able to scoop it up even more.
It was droopy. I had a long on DOT, and I dumped it at resistance. I was like,
No, I remember discussing that a couple days ago. Like, it looked bad. DOT did not look good.
Oh, well, shows how much we know.
Like, what we do is we don't call bottoms, man. Like, and it just reversed, and it reversed quickly.
No biggie. I'm certain I will get another opportunity to dive in. Let's take a look here.
I didn't know you were so butthurt on DOT.
It seems like the one that got away. What can I say? That one that I will long for the end of days. Let's have a look here.
Jesus. You have a different relationship with your wallet than I do.
It's, well, I guess it depends when DOT's at 1,000, I'm sure you're all going to be licking your wounds. So, all right, let's take a quick look at what we have lined up in the news today. There's a few interesting news stories. All right, so Brian Brooks, he was the former Coinbase chief legal officer who ended up taking on the role of comptroller of the currency. I wasn't able to figure out. We were talking about him yesterday. I couldn't remember his name on the show yesterday. And go figure, Brian Brooks apparently stepping down in his role as comptroller of the currency. So his exit was first reported this week by Political Pro. In the move.
What is comptrolling? What does the comptroller do? What do they control?
Very important.
Yeah.
So maybe like a fancier title for controller, I suppose. I don't know. Seems like an elevated controller.
It's a guy like with a bunch of control.
Yeah, he's got levers at the printing press station, and he can pull this lever this far, and he can pull this lever this far, and
he makes printer go burr.
Exactly. He just changes the speed and like the ink cartridges and shit.
Maybe put some Deutschmarks in there.
But in all seriousness, yes, he's stepping away. You figure right now with a change of admins, there might be new appointments and all that. So apparently Brooks is out. But before he got out, well, you know what's interesting? He posted an op-ed to, I think, Forbes, comptroller of the currency, called himself an optimist. And let me see where it was. I think it was an op-ed piece in Forbes, Financial Times op-ed written by Brian Brooks. So on his way out, he did end up writing a bit of an op-ed, which is going to be interesting. He sheds a little light into the regulatory space, what's on their minds, and according to this, the regulators are warming up to DeFi. He hopes that DeFi banks might eliminate human error and discrimination. Brooks also believes that algorithmic banks are perceived similarly to self-driving cars 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago we couldn't imagine that cars would take over the task of driving and transportation. It's an interesting parallel, right? We can't imagine our banks will go from a brick and mortar operation staffed by auditors and customer service agents into a more automated sphere. So an interesting read.
Almost 1 year.
Yep.
Just because, like COVID, like you can't expect changes like this, man.
Yeah, let's not use the C word, but indeed, things. It's going to probably change a lot about our society.
Bitcoin's just going to have to get to 1 million that much faster,
Yeah, pump my bags for me. But yeah, there's a Financial Times op-ed piece written by Brooks that you might find interesting. Recommend you guys check that out. Let's see here. We got another one another story that's trending pretty hard today, and that's how much Ethereum is being withdrawn from exchanges. So
Oh, you saw that link I posted. You
I did, but I saw that trending in other spaces as well this morning. So 1 million Ethereum pulled from exchanges. So this is similar to what we're seeing in Bitcoin. Record low Bitcoin deposits held on exchanges. This could be a very, very bullish sign for Ethereum. So the amount of ETH held on exchanges plunged recently to one of its lowest levels ever, just over a week. Just over a week's time, 1 million Ethereum has left, currently worth about 1.2 billion. So yeah, 1.2 billion in hard Ethereum. has been withdrawn from all tracked exchanges such as Coinbase and Kraken. This is one of the biggest drops in such a short period, caused presumably by dip buying earlier this week. Yeah, maybe people bought the dip and withdrew. Then there's of course the pressure of coins getting locked up in the new 2.0 staking contract. So
how many coins are locked up in the new staking contract right now? Has that accelerated, or has that
I think it has been picking up. I saw an article yesterday about this. This one doesn't reference it, so I'm gonna have to look. But it did look like it's been steadily climbing. So Ethereum 2.0, I think they officially passed at least 1% of the supply staked in 2.0. So I think it's definitely growing and not insignificant at this point.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the blockchain failed? That'd just be 1% of ETH supply that disappears.
Be quite the spike bump, though.
It would be interesting for sure, but
the price bump, if that happened.
Maybe. But I mean the 2.0 tokens aren't exactly trading on the open market yet, so I'm not sure how that would affect things. I also wonder if there'd be a contingency plan where they would end up restarting it and airdropping everybody,
or something.
Yeah, airdropping everybody what was lost or something like that. I imagine there would be, attempts to recover from a disaster like that. But fingers crossed we never get to that.
We just described Vitalik's nightmares.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Something tells me those guys are in it for the tech, and I think whether or not investors get wiped out or not would be of no consequence to them. I don't think they think about the what goes on the trading front or on the investment front. For them, it's all about tech.
Yeah, Vitalik still has all that pre-mine. He's like, whatever.
Yep, I think these guys are like autistically into the tech, the development, and they could care less what goes on.
That's good. You need
in
that.
our portfolios. Yeah, I guess we need somebody focused on
Those are the people
building.
You keep your eye on.
They will build and I will sell. That's just how it's going to work. All right. And finally, for the Rick and Morty fans in the house, Rick and Morty creators selling NFT artwork on Ethereum. Now, the NFT market, of course, has boomed in the past year with kind of a niche audience, and well-known creators are now jumping in.
He is going to make so much money. People throw money at these NFTs.
He really is going to, man. It's brilliant. I'm going to do it.
Yep, animator and video producer Justin Roland will soon release a lineup of non-fungible tokens, digital art, and this will be sold on the art platform Nifty Gateway. And he said all this in a tweet this morning. We are thrilled.
Swifty Gateway.
Swifty, Would have been more appropriate.
Well, Nifty is NFT, so Nifty.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but Swifty is Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool depositing art in a tokenized form. I'm sure for the collectors, this could very well be a new era in collectibility.
For those of you who are new to the sphere, an NFT is a non-fungible token. So regular money is fungible. One dollar bill is the same as any other dollar bill. If someone said, "Hey, I took your dollar bill and replaced it with this other dollar bill," you wouldn't be like, "But wait, no, they're different," because they're not. They're completely fungible. They're the same. They're exchangeable. But the same cannot be true of like baseball cards or something like that. Two like Nolan Ryan rookie cards could be valued differently because they have a condition. They are non-fungible. Even though they're technically the same, like because they can have like a different condition, they have sentimental value in a baseball card. I don't know that they are not of equal exchange. And similarly, non-fungible tokens are representative tokens on the blockchain that each item is unique. So you could have two different non-fungible tokens that might represent the same, like let's say in-game item. They both represent like a sword in a blockchain game or a card in a blockchain card game. And because they're non-fungible, like that token is its own unique thing. So that's what NFTs are. So you could also have a piece of art. So there are drawings that can be a non-fungible token. There are some non-fungible tokens like that players clubs are doing in Europe, and it's like a digital bobblehead almost that the sports arena hands out to you. So yeah, NFTs, it's a thing. Non-fungible token is what it means. And some people think it's going to be a really big thing on the blockchain. Some people think that it's dumb. It might very well be dumb. It could be CryptoKitties, but
it sounds like it's just the digital version of collectibles.
Yep, pretty much.
Yes, they are crypto collectibles.
Humans like collecting things.
Like this is just the digital version of what people already did, and this will boom. I mean,
yep,
that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, particularly if we're all living in pods and own no physical assets, and everything is done on the cloud. We just jack into the matrix every morning, and it's like a Ready Player One universe, where all your prized possession are just digital assets stored on the blockchain somewhere. Indeed, you're going to need NFTs to track your rare one of three holographic Charizard on the dark web kind of thing.
Yeah, man. International Monetary Fund is going to love it. 2035, I own nothing, and I've never been happier.
Precisely. But, you will be rich in digital gold. All right, let's put it that way. You'll have your riches, and you'll have your VIP card to the most exclusive online nightclubs there are out there.
Yeah, it's like, who knows, guys? These NFTs could be crypto beanie babies. Okay, be careful. Like you don't know.
Yeah, but it still shows you that the future of a certain issuance is likely going to come on the blockchain. So even if you do get a real world item, you get like a Gucci handbag that's like one of 1,000 being produced this season. It could very well come with a QR code and an NFT entry on some blockchain somewhere certifying it as such. So this is what we saw with Nike's Crypto Kicks patent. And likely other consumer goods, they're going to end up getting fancier space age barcodes that are basically NFT technology. But
my greatest hope for non-fungible tokens is persistence of gaming items across games. So, you get like a legendary mount of World of Warcraft.
Like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, it doesn't do you any good in any other MMORPG. But imagine if you could have items that were persistent across games, and once blockchain games become more of a once there's more of a thing, and probably once there's more interoperability between blockchains, because you're probably not going to have every game on the same blockchain. Once they have that, NFTs will enable that sort of persistence across games. Now, are gaming companies actually going to implement that? It could be kind of a nightmare to track that. Like, imagine if someone is sneaking in items that are like super powered into your game, from like another game that's much less careful about and it throws off your balance. There are problems, but people pay real money for these digital items, and people should be able to keep those digital items and use them all over the place, not just be
ripped app per app by in-game purchases.
Yeah. And then, of course, if it's stored on a centralized database, do you really own those digital items? If they can just turn the game off at any time.
Yeah.
Well, non-fungible tokens like, okay, well, let me take my item off this game. They're shutting down.
Yeah, it gives you a different level of ownership over these items, like rather than being potentially associated with your, if you're like a World of Warcraft player and you get some rare World of Warcraft magic item or however that game works, that's usually hosted on your account that they host on their servers. The future of these NFT games will be, these items are actually, blockchain assets, and you can withdraw them from like your hot wallet in game to maybe a private wallet off chain. So it's it kind of really makes these assets feel real, dare I say it. Okay.
Have you guys seen the show Hunter x Hunter?
No, what's that?
Oh, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. The very last season, they go into a game, and it's literally the exact same premise of everything you're talking about. It's run on a blockchain, and the items are like control part of the game. So once you have the more powerful items, you get to basically control the game more than others could by using those items.
This is gonna just make this existing collectability in games seem even more exciting, if you ask me. Because if you go on eBay and you look up like World of Warcraft items or World of Warcraft accounts, people have like rare stuff that they value at very high rates, and you could go on, like I said, eBay, and you'll see people selling the stuff, like a whole account full of epic items for like $10,000 or more. People clearly value these things. They pay cash for these marketplaces online where you can convert cash for in-game money. So clearly there's already economies that work around this. Now imagine making it so much more special where you can like what seems like get private ownership over in-game assets. It's going to be interesting. It's going to take a few years to come, but I think we're looking at the future.
Quicker than we think.
And so to bring things back around, so Justin Roiland is essentially probably going to be making digital works of art that are unique. So you buy the non-fungible token, and then sure, someone could screenshot the digital art and stuff the same way someone could take a picture of a painting, but they will not own that art in the way that you will.
Yeah, you won't have
own the non-fungible token.
They won't have the Mona Lisa, man. They'll just have the picture.
Just the picture, yeah, or
and
a poster on their wall.
Yeah, you have proof of purchase.
Yeah,
indeed.
You have that only copy of that thing, and so in that way, the blockchain can make digital art uniqueness a reality again. In the way that the living world. It's like no one cares if you have the counterfeit work of art that looks exactly the same. It's like, is that the original work of art? It's like, okay, so you have
it's more of a status thing.
You have a digital image of this non-fungible token, but you don't have the non-fungible token, therefore you do not own that image. You've got a picture of it.
And then you can sue people who use it.
Yep, proof of ownership and a historical proof as well as to who owned what where in its history, who controls the asset at any given time.
That's the word you're looking for.
All right, let's dive into the live chat real quick. I'm gonna shout out
exciting things on the way.
Yep. We're gonna live in the world that we hardly recognize given enough time. All right.
A flash drive full of collectibles.
Here we go.
End of the world.
We've got Vidushin here as our first guy in the door today. First one to leave a comment in the live chat saying Green Thursday. Indeed, we are enjoying a Thursday well into the green today. We got Megusta in the live chat saying BitConnect. All right, BitConnect to you too, my friend. Me, myself, and I in the live chat saying hey. We've got Super Relax, that's a cool name, in the show. He says, let's go, rocket ship. Yes, we are ready to launch, or if not, we've already launched, and we're heading for low Earth orbit. We got David Rice in here. Oh, David's in here early for a change. Shoutouts to David Rice in the UK. Let's get it on, he says. We've got Crypto Bull in here saying, here we go. Yes, shoutouts to our timestamper, Crypto Bull, doing great work lately. Let's see, who else? Mr. Ether's in here. Shoutouts to Robert. Target 100K plus 6 to 8 months. Yes, so Mr. Ether targeting 100,000 probably by middle of this year. That kind of reflects how I feel about Bitcoin. Let's take it to 100K, shall we, boys? Stun Gun in here saying good day. S. Hyatt in here. Greetings, people. Nice to see you, Mr. Hyatt. Ernest the Gaia is in here. Happy New Year, all. Okay, so I guess a belated Happy New Year from Ernest the Gaia, but it's nice.
Must have been a rough New Year.
Yeah, finally woke up, from sleeping off the
2 weeks.
The most epic hangover in New Year's history from the sounds of it. Beatnuts is in here saying this is the dip watch party. That was yesterday or the day before, big homie. You might have to
pump watch.
Now we're officially in a pump / all-time high breakout watch. Daniel in the live chat is also a channel supporter. Awesome. I think Daniel recently became a channel supporter. I don't remember your status being green, but shout outs to Daniel. Thank you for joining us. He says, good afternoon, ladies and guys with the money bag. All right, shout outs to Daniel. All right, let's get through the last few. Marco, Boomer Thursday, good to be here. All right, good to have you here, fellow Boomer. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner. Let's start this show with a small tip. $5 super chat from Mr. Ether. All right, shout outs to Rob for the $5. Awesome. ETH1, hi guys. Floyd it says hello. Crypto Caveman. That dot. That's all he has to say. Yes, that dot is looking good. Crypto Caveman, of course, also a green channel supporter. Thank you for supporting. John, I love the show. Hello world. Hope everyone's safe and well. Indeed. I hope everyone's doing safe and well this Thursday in January. Hoping you're keeping warm. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, Nikolai Sotev. Hello, hello. Dark Rico. Cavano Trades. Nice to see you, Cavano. He says, I FOMO'd in months ago, holding strong. Excellent work.
Doesn't sound like FOMOing. That sounds like investing wisely.
Maybe beat nuts, don't jinx it. Yes, let's not jinx this run up. Chemo Zabi in the live chat. I don't always comment, but great job providing the content. Yes, thank you so much. B Flow's in here. Let's see, Agency's in here. Nice to see Agency. He says great calls all around. I think he's talking about the signals posted to the premium group yesterday. Yes, there's been solid calls posted.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, we've been doing really good, so it's amazing to be here, and I think so many people in the crypto land are probably sleeping on what we do at Premium, because our analysts are posting pure fire going back months and probably years now. Probably one of the few groups that consistently posts our trading results publicly. Results.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Got it.
Get over there.
All right, let's chat out the last few and get on with today's analysis. All right.
And if you like what you see and you like hearing about NFTs and other cool things, be sure to hit like or subscribe.
Just what he said. Mr. Kobayashi.
Robot Alex.
Mr. Kobayashi is in the live chat. Can always be counted on to burst bubbles or rain on a parade. He's saying double top, then crash. All right, Mr. Kobayashi.
Double top.
All right, double top and crash, says
The old
Kobayashi.
dead cat bounce.
Let's
swing failure.
Hoping not. I'll see you at 60K, Mr. Kobayashi. Ron Legato is in here. Tech Engine's in here. And Michael Green. We got a lot of people in here. It's taking forever to get through this list, but I'm almost there. Longbeard's in here. Goblin Moblin's in here. And Unlucky Domino is in here. And finally, we have everyone shouted out. Safu Mafu is in here. Virtual glasses and virtual assets. Yes, it's going to be all VR goggles and NFTs where we're going, boys. Let's see.
Hey Jack, can we? Is there any chance we can get the stream bot running right now?
Yes, thank you for that reminder. I have a bad habit of not launching that. Let me do that. And Tenacious V, nice hash login. Wayne Arnott, Dark
Cody
Destroyer, Ostrich, Cody McAllister. All right, that's everyone shouted out. Thank you.
Get into it.
Thank you to everybody joining us. And yes, let's get into the analysis. And let me start that chat bot up as soon as I switch scenes.
What's the music vibe today?
I have the old school hip hop playlist from Epidemic Sounds loaded.
Dirty Dog. That sounds good.
All right, so.
I don't get to hear it, people.
No, you don't. Here we go.
It's all for you.
The dulcet sounds of my voice.
I am now in the live chat, or I'm in the live scene with Alex's chart up. So I'm going to let Alex take it away here. Just a quick reminder to the audience, I will be scrolling up, collecting all of your requests, and we'll be getting to those shortly. Here we go. Alex, take it away. I'm going to go do something in the background. BRB.
Let's zoom out for a second here and just, kind of try and get a sense of where we are in the long term. So we are retesting our highs right now. And in fact, we're retesting the weekly highs right now in this area. We're facing trend resistance above us, shown here. So got heavy resistance overhead on our trend, heavy resistance overhead on several moving averages on lower time frames, 12-hour right overhead, and we have horizontal resistance too, right around this area. We'll see this over here on VPVR. We have several points of control in this area where there's a lot of volume that tends to get transacted. Keep bumping our heads on these places, shown here. See, pausing right here. And most likely we're going to continue pulling up into this 40K, 4100 area. Mm-hmm. And then what Jason and I, we were discussing this earlier, what we think is going to happen is most likely get a pullback down towards the bottom of this trading range here again. So this whole area right here. So that's roughly 36,000. So the top of this area right here. So
it was interesting that on your daily chart there, like with the 60 hole, like I'm using the 23. I mean, at 13 usually, which is very sensitive. I'm actually getting a continuation on Bitcoin today, but I remember notoriously through my back testing that the 13 EMA continuation longs are notoriously rejected. So it makes me very interested in today's close, that I think that we do get that rejection back down to those levels that you were just describing before we see more continuation to the upside. So I'll be really interested to see whether that level holds.
I will definitely be interested in seeing it too. We are close to a long signal here on Bitcoin, but we're not there yet. So because we did dip under the baseline here, I'm not looking for continuation signal. I'm looking for an initial long signal right here, and we're not quite there.
We don't have WATA either.
Yeah, we don't have WATA here. Not enough momentum yet. We could get that on a break of the high. And if we did break the high and hold it, I might sneak in even if we were above the qualifying line and just be like, well,
let's ride this.
Yeah, let's ride this. But the CME could give us a chance to get in and not have to worry about that. So if the CME gives us a signal, we won't get the cross today. We would get a cross tomorrow, and we would have to because it would close up for the weekend. Yeah. I would be satisfied with that.
Yeah, and I would actually be satisfied with taking it, but I'd be very cautious, very worried at close of Sunday. I would end up probably closing my positions if I wasn't already in no loss positions, because the Monday open, that's when I would feel that volatility would smack back down through and fill that gap if it were to be filled like that.
Yeah. Speaking of, this would get filled if we had to pull back to 36,000 right here. So essentially that would also pull us back right to this area, continue onward. So that is, I think there are some good arguments for continuation. I think there are some good arguments for a pullback. I would not be surprised if, in some sense, both things happen. Like we've got a pullback to 36K, and then we also got an attempt on a new high. As far as any kind of bigger pullbacks, like 24,000, 20,000, I just don't know yet, guys. Why don't we go take a look at the dollar, see what the dollar's doing? Let's see if that'll give us a sense of what Bitcoin's going to be up to.
Get to the dollar. I'm going to make that a shirt.
Interestingly, that hourly rejection candle that we got yesterday was totally counterfeit. So we kept moving up.
Just went sideways.
But yeah, we did get a pretty strong rejection here. There we go. On higher time frames, you can see we're pretty clearly rejected from the 4-hour baseline here. We put in, it's not really a bearish divergence, I guess, because these are roughly symmetrical. I guess right now there's just no sign of the Dixie truly changing direction yet. We're still just kind of trading sideways here underneath 90.5 support. So this area right here. So we still have our weekly signal. We're still looking for a reversal here in the dollar, but on lower time frames, daily and below, it's just mostly sideways, as you can see. But that is a stark change from the large drop that we had here. It's probably more similar to this area. So we can go sideways for quite a while, guys. Sideways on the dollar is good for Bitcoin. The only thing that's really bad for Bitcoin is the dollar going up. Sideways is fine. Sideways is fine for us. Sideways is fine for alt season too. So
yeah, important to remember.
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks that there needs to be this mass exodus from Bitcoin. Like there needs to be this big sell-off, and we can just go sideways and these alts can pop like spring flowers, man.
Yeah, think of the 9 to 10K range. We traded sideways for 3 months during that time. There was an entire alt season. While I know there were people that were sitting on bags of Bitcoin just waiting for Bitcoin to do something, and it didn't during that entire alt season. And then when alt season was over, that's when Bitcoin took off.
Shut it
Well,
down.
it's been a
It's
straight
over.
shot from 10K to here almost.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. Bitcoin dominance still just trading sideways right now. We haven't moved at all since earlier in the week. We're just kind of drifting upwards here, still at resistance. Lower time frame starting to curl up a little bit, but I'm not sold on anything yet, especially while we're below the baseline on here. Uniswap coins look strong for continuation. We'd have to close today back down below essentially this level right here. Yeah, see, this is beautiful. So Uniswap coins look really good for a continuation right here. Asian coins still at resistance. I'm not super pleased with decreasing volume here on the pump back up. This looks more like a retest of resistance before we fall down, more than it does like a strong continuation signal like Uniswap coins did. I mean, you see the difference between those, right? This one, we've already bottomed above zero. We're above the high. WATA is firing. You know, everything looks good here. Not so much here. See, our volatility is not rising. We haven't curved up yet, and we have not made a new high here. So lots of weakness here. I'm not very interested in this basket of coins right now. So this includes what does Dragon Perp include exactly?
That's all Japanese.
Here we go. Chinese.
Chinese. I thought it was Japanese.
Here we go.
Dragon.
ARPA, BTM, IOST, NEO, Nulls, ONT, QDM, TRX, and VET. So they're equally weighted. So I'd say out of those, I approve of IOST, NEO, VET, and a lot of these are good. But I guess TRX is really the one that
You just don't like Justin Sun.
I don't like Justin Sun. I mean, TRX is just a copy of the Ethereum blockchain, guys. Ethereum is open source code. He took the code. He made a new blockchain with it. It's the same thing. That's why they have the TRC20 standard. That's why it's so easy for all these Ethereum developers to port their stuff over to Tron. It's Ethereum. It's still Ethereum. So anyway, I digress. Let's head back on over to charts. So just to give you an idea, these coins are lagging, and we've seen that. Let's go look at VET. Let's look at VET Bitcoin. It's lagging. TRX Bitcoin. Oh, that's really ugly right here. So yeah, these coins, they're all still testing their bottoms against Bitcoin. I'm not super interested in these coins. So when you look over at DeFi, like this is completely different. Completely different story. Privacy coins, after the initial pump, just kind of languishing sideways today. As long as we hold above resistance, this is still strong. Still no continuation signal here on privacy coins. Privacy coins are typified by ZEC, Zen, XMR, which is Monero. Exchange coins kind of feel like they're at resistance here. So, good volume on the dump, not very much volume on the pump. We're still below. You can see the resistance here and here. It's kind of stuck in these areas right now. But if we close a new high, there's nothing overhead to stop us, But this definitely feels like exchange coins might pull back more.
It's weird that you say that because I feel like this is the first time I've ever seen Leo token such a big bubble on crypto bubbles.
Let's look at Leo. Are we talking about the same Leo?
That's just I would assume so. It's the
Yeah, I
only Leo
think
I know.
it's the Bitfinex Leo, I believe, pumping today.
No, it's up like less than 1% right now, guys.
So earlier in the day, it was up, and it was the first time I've ever noticed it.
Maybe it's a different Leo.
Could be. I'll find it. Nope, Leo token.
There's only so many 3-letter combinations, guys. I believe
We'll find them all.
I believe it's 26 to the 3rd power, but I could be mistaken. Cubed. Let's see. Both Midcap and Shitcoins are kind of suffering the same fate, where we're at resistance and we don't have a signal yet, so it's not necessarily appealing. Same for altcoins, still at resistance. So weak, strong, weak, strong. So we see the difference in these charts. So right now, and by the way, compared to DeFi, Uniswap is also much weaker. Right now, DeFi coins are where the strength is currently. Let's head over there. Let's take a look at some DeFi coins. Meta, looking super beautiful here. Looks like it's going to close a new high today with a continuation signal. And we've got rising volatility. It seems like something's a little up with the dead zone right here, so I'm not too concerned that we're below it right now. Yeah, I would have to jigger with the sensitivity on this dead zone. This is this has a weird data.
You'd have to jigger, folks.
Yep, gotta jigger it.
Comp looking strong.
Comp does look strong. I like the continuation signal that we get today. I'm not super happy with the fact that we're trading sideways here at resistance. Let's see. We're here.
Still a lot of day left.
Resistance level. Yeah. But you can also look at it as support, resistance, fake out, breakout, resistance.
False breakout.
Yeah. Potentially. Anyway, I agree with you. Comp here feels like it's just getting ready to make new all-time highs.
It's loading a slingshot. It's
Mhm.
winding up.
Some sideways here would be fine. Even a pullback would be fine. Comp's weekly trend here is very strong and very intact. I would expect Uniswap to make new highs coming up after this week. This week, we essentially came down. We retested the previous swing high as support. The weekly swing high as support. Same for the daily. Came back here and we tested this area. And now, essentially, the daily high is our resistance. I would really expect Uniswap to continue to make new highs after this week, as long as we continue to close this week above this high. This high is what we need to hold, and then as far as Uniswap is concerned, we're kind of in like a weekly sort of price discovery, and then once we break it on the daily, we're going to be in true price discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Shoutouts to Bflow in the live chat who did request Uniswap USDT earlier, so here you have it.
Here you have it.
Right, let me clear out like some of these lines. It'll help you see a little bit better what I mean. So yeah, so we have held this week, and that looks good for continuation. There's no signs of weakness really. The only thing slightly concerning is this wick up into the resistance. This is our daily resistance right here. But we've got this is a continuation signal. We stayed above this baseline. Yeah, this is a daily continuation signal. I would really much rather take it if we close just above this high right here. If we're then we're good. Then we're good. Maker closing a new high today. We'll have a continuation signal. I'll take that. Maker looking fantastic here. That's going on our watch list. Ren, new high. Continuation signal at the end of today. WATA firing. Looks good. Rep just isn't there. I mean, you see the difference? Like this is stronger. This is stronger.
Not in
So,
this way.
yeah. What was that?
I said there's nothing in its way.
Yeah. TOTMO here, continuation signal at the end of today. WADA's good. Only thing I don't like is that we're kind of at resistance right now. But I mean, with how the rest of the market is going, I wouldn't blame you if you were just like, screw resistance. What resistance? Have you seen the market, Alex?
Would you just look at it?
Yep. Did I put up a RUNE long yesterday?
I do not believe.
I don't think
so.
I put up a RUNE long.
I took ZRX and Link last night.
Here, what did I put up? I put up IOST and Winks. Let's look at those. Well, that's up. So we bought here. So we might have hit take profit one. We might still be waiting on it.
I think that it put up Quadrigo.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Actually, I could just look at this. This will tell us the price. 40.56. Wait, no, that's real. 14.433. High 15.007. Yep, take profit one hit. And then what's
Congrats to the members lounge because they all got that signal yesterday.
And I think we're kind of languishing on Winks here. So yeah, as you can see, we're strong here. We broke a new high, but just kind of trading sideways today. We'll see what happens with this one.
And if you want more quality signals like THETA, make sure to comment or subscribe after the show.
And of course, AVAX, we already know. Why don't we look at a few chart requests?
All right, let's do it. All right, Ostrich requested Maker, which we just looked at, so shoutouts to Ostrich. There was your Maker request. Bflow, of course, requested XLM and Uni USDT, which I think we covered. Let's look at XLM. We'll take Maker off the list because we just done that.
XLM. I believe I am in XLM trade right
I think
now.
there's some potential on this. It'll depend on how you want to draw it, but we've got a break of some kind of trend here. The 4-hour and the daily trends are also different here, but there's a break of trend. We close it. We have a continuation long signal here. I don't like how this feels like we just dumped a lot of volume into this space right up here. I think I'd like to see one more pullback on XLM.
Go to lower time frames.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like that that is untapped below it.
What, this right here?
Yeah. But that does have an argument.
Well, I mean, we could do a consolidation here with like higher lows each time. You know, we tap here, which was this order block right here. Next time we tap down here, which is this order block right here. Then we move up more, and then we retest the point of control one more time, and then take off. Maybe?
Yep, I agree. I think there's a hard rejection, Bart Simpson style off of that.
Yeah. I do like XLM for eventual continuation. Here's the trend on lower time frames. I think this is probably the most accurate way to draw it. I like this. XLM is just like not ready yet, but it's strong, and we're currently at the weekly highs, and if we close above here at all on the weekly, then we'll be at new weekly all-time highs, and then it's kind of sky's the limit. As we know, once price starts making new highs, that's called price discovery, and there's no resistance. Kind of everybody has to, supply and demand kind of has to re-equalize and find new levels where sellers and buyers agree on those prices for whatever reasons.
It's any assets coming of age ceremony.
All right. Well, that would be the XLM analysis. Thanks to BFlow for his request.
Stellar analysis.
Yes, stellar work there, gents. Here we go. Quite a few requests for Polkadot today. Wayne Arnott, can you look at .USD, please? Michael Grain, DOT, and Ernest of Gaia, can we look at .BTC?
I think everyone wants to see DOT.
Let's take a look at DOT from all angles.
Yep. We did not have a continuation long signal yesterday because we broke below the baseline, and you can only get a continuation signal if you stay above the baseline the entire time. So unfortunately, we were not able to enter long yesterday. We weren't above zero on our oscillator. And we were above the qualifying line. So I was hoping that maybe today would be a day where we just pulled back, retested this a little bit, and then continued onwards the next day, because that would have given us time to kind of re-enter here. Let's turn off replay mode. That would have given us time to kind of re-enter today, our oscillator to catch up, WADA to catch up with us. But DOT's just too bullish. So there's really nothing to say about DOT except it is most likely going to continue making new highs here. So if you're long, stay long. If you did not get long, you are probably really late to the party, and you can join my pity party because I'm having one, and so is Jack.
So is Jack. I was gonna say, he's having a religious experience over here.
So yeah, DOT likely. What's next?
All right, shout outs to everybody requesting DOT. Let's move into the next one. Here's a general question. I know this one is going to be impossible to answer on the show, but let's see if the new member by the name of Unlucky Domino can get an answer to this one. When looking at those graphs, how do you decide when to buy and when to sell? I am very new to this.
That is
okay.
That's how do we do what we do here?
Great question.
Yeah. That's kind of like, saying to scientists, so what's this science thing all about? Can you give me a short explanation? I don't want to make it sound like rocket science. It's not rocket science. Essentially, the charts tell us only a few things, and then we perform mathematical transformations on that. So, what we have on the chart is we have... Actually, let me go even further back. There is tick data that TradingView receives. The tick data is such and such transaction at such and such a price at such and such a time. So that tells you the volume, that tells you what price it was transacted at, and it tells you, when it happened. So we have time, we have volume, and we have price. These are the three things on our chart right now. So this is the volume. This is the volume at different times. This is a different day. This is a different day. This is a different day. This is an open price. This is a closed price. This is the low price. This is the high price. And over here, I have volume by price. So this is volume at $10.24. This is volume at $9.21, etc. So right now, these are all the different... I am displaying all the different true data, the factual data about price. Now, there are things called about price and volume and the movement thereof. Like it's right here on the screen. Then there are different measurements that you can do about those things, and it will tell you a little bit more about that information. So down here, I have something called WADA ATAR explosion. This is a hybrid indicator. Essentially, it's probably still too advanced, even discussing that with you. You know what?
Put simply, we're visualizing price data in front of us, and then you can learn how to interpret this to make potentially profitable trades with. I don't know how much more detail we could get into, though. It is definitely a general question, but you've come to the right place. Yeah.
We use mathematics to find a statistical edge in the market. There's enough data out there that you can use it to find repeatable things that you can look for, actively test for.
Here's the most simple indicator. It's called a moving average. It's just an average of the price over time. But guess what? This tells us a lot of information. When a trend is strong, we will stay above the moving average the entire time. Do you see that? How we're above the moving average. And then when we cross back below it, that's telling us, hey, dude, the trend is weakened.
It's weak.
And look, we cross it a couple more times, and then we stay below it for the downtrend. So even though this is just a simple moving average, we can perform mathematical transformations on the price. Sometimes it's just an average. Sometimes there can be calculus involved for more complicated indicators. Sometimes there's like linear algebra, whatever. But you can perform analysis of it called technical analysis that will give you some sort of idea about what you can expect in the future, sort of. Mm-hmm. Or at least it can tell you what the state of the market is right now. When otherwise, if you don't have it, here.
Yeah, now remove that.
Yeah,
you'll have no idea.
You remove the moving average, and you're like, oh yeah, this could be strong. We're probably going to bounce here.
That's a bull pennant.
Yeah, but you look here and you're like, wait, we've been above moving average the entire time, and now we're below it. Maybe I'm not going to go long here.
And rejecting.
Yeah. And then, of course, we play the tape forward, and yeah, you're like, oh, thank goodness I didn't enter here. Thank you, moving average. You can't tell, but I am saluting him with my hand right now. Thank you, moving average. So that is a very short introduction to technical analysis. There is a lot more to it. There are all these tools over here. They do things. I don't really need to get into it. But the chart tells us things about price, and I will point them out to you. Like we have oscillators. Be like, hey, price turned here. Look at that. We go long here. We go up here. Down here. You following that? We go down, up, down, up. And if you're following the price up here, this is giving us useful information. Good. Our oscillator is telling us stuff. Mm-hmm. This has got momentum and volatility. Momentum and volatility, think of that as the velocity and acceleration to position. So to price is to momentum, and to volatility as position is to velocity and acceleration. For those of you who are, perhaps math or science minded. All right, enough. On to the next person.
All right. It was a pleasure to introduce Unlucky Domino to the live chat and to some of these basic technical analysis. If you stick around, I'm sure some of this will sink in and absorb.
What he basically just described in a nutshell is what we do here at CC, but we just layer it multiple times. So we find something like a moving average, we get the data out of it that we like, we see the trend, and then we find something else to put over it, say AUTA or time transformation, and then we back test these all to find the best edge in the market that we can. That's what gives us our entries.
Yep, it's a statistical game, and we try to play
stat hunt, man.
We try to play it like bosses. All right, moving into the next one, we got a long list of requests here, so we're gonna have to power through them. I have got all of them logged to date, so anybody who posted a request in the live chat, believe me, it's on this list. We'll get to it. Maybe slow down the request, guys, because we're already almost at capacity at this point. But let's move into the next one.
They're gonna slow down.
All right, we did BFlow's XLM and Uni USDT analysis. This next one comes from BFlow as well. IOTA and FTM asks BFlow. Let's take a look at IOTA. I think I saw a few other people asking for IOTA. So let's see what's popping over at IOTA land.
Why IOTA?
I posted a link in the chat. Be sure to check that out for some basic crypto trading 101 tutorials on technical analysis. There's also plenty of other places to learn. Stop by our Discord. We talk about technical analysis in there all the time.
It's kind of what we do.
It's our thing. I'm sorry, what was our next one?
Yeah, no problem. This one's for BFlow, IOTA.
Okay. To Bitcoin, starting to look interesting here. Holding above the point of control. That looks good. Still trading sideways at the bottom, though. We could get a very nice continuation signal at the end of today, but I would only take it as long as we remain above these closes right here. The close here and the open here. If we can close above it, boom.
If it's an indecision, if it's an indecision candle.
Yep, we got a continuation signal here. WATA is above our dead zone. We've got enough momentum, and our volatility is rising here. So that's it. That's everything. So
if it closes back at close, though, do not take that.
Yeah, then there's a chance we could just reverse down here and retest, which would suck.
All right, shout-outs to B-Flow in the IOTA call. He also asked for FTM. What's FTM again? Let's take a look.
Phantom?
Phantom, that's right.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's
wow.
Phantom.
I haven't heard of this in forever.
I haven't either. I don't know why that just popped back into my head, but yeah. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Interesting week.
It's going to be really dependent on the weekly close.
Definitely all or nothing there.
Yeah, so right now, I think there's a really good argument to be made that we broke out, we came down, we retested this resistance right here as support. We'll be getting... Yep, we've got a higher low right here. We don't have a continuation signal yet. As you can see, we're not fully crossed over. But we will be getting it if we make a new high. So I think, like we're looking for in a lot of these other ones, we're looking for a new high to be made. Until we get the new high, I'm not fully convinced. Just like on Bitcoin, until Bitcoin, makes a new high over 40.
That's really interesting to me because when I see that, I instantly think stair-step pattern up.
Oh, right here?
Yep, like boom, and then it's going to consolidate a little bit and then pop back up. I think that's going to keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
In the short term.
Well, stair-stepping is this right here. Stair-step.
Yeah, exactly like that. I think that's what's about to start happening. I don't think that you're going to see very much more downside on that in the short term.
Okay. And what kind of pullback did we have here? Was this one of those full 80%ers?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, well, 72.
It was a full parabolic pullback. So, yeah, Phantom could be good to go here. What's next? For right now, I still want to see Phantom make a new high, but I do like a retest of at least 3.5 cents here. I could easily see Phantom do that.
Like what Bitcoin's doing right now.
What?
All right.
What Bitcoin's doing right now. It's like the same pattern.
All right. Thank you.
On lower time frames. Coming back to test that high.
Yeah. Stair steps.
Yep. Stair steps.
All right. Well, we've got an hour left, so let's speed through the next few. Fuzzy TV in the live chat asked. Actually, was it Fuzzy? No, it was. Michael Lapola in live chat. What is Alex's Twitter handle? And I believe Mr. Ether beat me to it. It's twitter.com/IcarusRisen, I believe, right?
Get you getting followers.
All right, that's correct. So be sure to Mr. Ether posted Alex's Twitter if anybody wants to follow him there. Maybe get Jason.
I don't use it that often. I'm sorry, guys. I've
been trying to get back into it.
I'm a total early technologies millennial, so I adopted Facebook in 2004, and 140 characters on Twitter was just too few for me. You guys know I ramble. I know it's like 280 now, but back in the day I just never got into it as much. I really should. I should use it more, but
he's still lurking in AOL chat rooms.
Jason.
Oh, I'll tell you it.
Jason, let's get your
picks for picks, bud.
Let's get Jason's
What's up?
Post your Twitter handle in there as well. Post your Twitter link in there.
I'm at Midwest Attempts wherever you find me, baby.
Copy that link and paste it in there. All right, let's get into the next request. Like I said, we got an hour left in the show. We got quite a few left to power through. Next one's for Vidu. She says chart request for Dixie, which we did, and OXT USDT, please. Let's look at OXT.
Okay, Orchid.
That's been like the biggest laggard of my Binance or Coinbase portfolio, and it's just finally starting to do something.
This is, well, I mean, obviously it clearly looks very similar to a lot of the other charts that we're looking at. I like the breakout trend here and the retest. This still feels like we're at resistance right now in this area. This is like the other ones where I really want to see a new high. We need to curl up. It's not time for us to enter here on Orchid. So we want to see a little bit more bullish action out of it before it'll be ready. We're not close to curling right here. We don't have the volatility. We don't have the momentum. Nothing's there for us yet on Orchid. What's next?
Orchids aren't blooming yet, boys.
All right, pass on Orchid for now, but thank you, Vidush, for the request. Let's move into the next one. We got a good pace going here. Next one comes from Agency. He says, Adam BTC. Let's look at Cosmos Bitcoin.
Go to the Cosmos. Oh, not looking hot.
Nope. It does not look hot.
It's in the Beyond section of Bed
That
Bath
is
and
so
Beyond.
not hot.
Hot Hansel. It's not a hot Hansel. It's a hot little potato. Don't touch that
right now. Right now, there's definitely nothing for us to do on this. I'm worried this is going to pull an EOS and have the bottom fall out of us one more time. Which, I mean, we were talking about EOS Bitcoin yesterday and how good that looked, and then it put in a new low. So shows you how much we know. Yeah, I don't see, we're not ready on Atom yet.
Yeah, and right there, if you are looking at a chart like that and you haven't broken any significant trends, you have no evidence to take any position anyways, so you should just wait.
Yeah, our WADA's firing. Nothing's firing for us yet. We're just starting to get above zero today, and I would have a hard time taking it on this candle, even if WADA was firing.
You're not above the dead zone either.
That's true.
And with these type of kind of off the bottom, I always generally like to have a rising explosion level.
We need enough volatility to kind of get lift off, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, that's Cosmos Bitcoin for Agency. Let's keep it moving, guys. We have quite a few left here. Next one is for Vidush. EOS Bitcoin effed up. All right, well, might not be pretty, but let's see what we see here. Yep.
So we were just looking at this yesterday and talking about how beautiful this bottom was, and then it went and made a new bottom right here. Well, can't get them all right, guys. What can I say? That's why we wait for a signal. We didn't take anything, even though it looked really beautiful.
I'm telling you, that's the fake out. It's
Yep.
about to turn around. That's the fake out.
Yep, that's why we follow a system, guys, because even though we stare at the charts all day long and sometimes get it really right, sometimes you just get it wrong. And this could also end up being a spring where we then come back up.
That's what I'm saying. That's the fake out.
Though this is the fake out. I thought you were saying these were the fake outs.
This last step, because that pattern looked great on lower time frames, and you always get that hard rejection before you get that rocket up.
It's cool if this starts to look like a reversal, but I am not interested unless we reclaim the support level. If we do reclaim the support level, though, that's really great. That is bullish. We do see patterns like this. This is potentially an accumulation pattern, which you would see Wyckoff accumulation. There we go. That's a distribution pattern. Here we go.
There's the flavor.
So essentially, we're looking for a spring right here. So see, we got those bounces off the bottom, and then it makes one new bottom to scare off everybody, and then it comes back up, reclaims the support level, reclaims the next support level, and then starts building new support and showing signs of strength.
And the way that I always psychologically think about this is that moment of that spring when it hits that new low, that's when the emotion of the market just gets into its most ridiculous, and that people start panicking and panic selling, panic shorting, stuff like that. And then you see that spring, and psychologically everyone's waiting for the retracement. It has to retrace. It has to retrace. It doesn't. It's going to keep springing up on you and completely wipe whatever margin that you have, usually enough to wipe even 5x.
Mm-hmm.
So like whenever I see that, I'm always cautious, because if I make the wrong decision at that moment, that's when you're at like the peak of getting screwed by the market.
Well, here's an example. So bands. So we make a high and then we do what's called a reaccumulation. This is accumulation level after a high. Let's look at that again. We see these things all here. See the spring. See this last point of support right here. Boom. This spot. It's this spot right here.
That would also be a bear pennant.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go into pennants or chart patterns or anything like that right now, but I do want to bring to light the potential that is an accumulation zone and what we would be looking for. That's why I'm looking for that place to be reclaimed. Mm-hmm. If we do reclaim this this support level right here, then we can be like, oh, it was just a fake out low. That's what happens in these accumulation zones. But if we just obviously if we make another new low, then
no,
it's been shown to not work.
You need more evidence, but this is when you would start expecting things to turn around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's wrap it for EOS. Let's move into the next one. We got a lot still to cover, and this one comes from Dark Destroyer in a live chat. He's asking for ALGO.
Destroyer.
Algorand. Let's see what Algorand's up to, and then we got a bunch more to do.
It's giving me life boards. That's what it's doing.
It's just kind of hanging around its lows right now. This looks a lot like EOS did yesterday. Right? Sellers really look like they're getting exhausted in this spot. Of course, that is literally what I said about EOS Bitcoin yesterday.
Yep.
ALGO is looking like a lot of other coins in this spot. We have, however you want to draw it, we have a break of trend, kind of a retest of this area, but we're hanging out at resistance right now. So, hold on, this is 12-hour. Here we go. Hanging out at resistance right now. I'm not interested in this yet. We would have to make a new high here. I don't like how we don't have a lot of volume on this pump right here. Leads me to believe we can get one more dump down into support. Because support is actually like down here. We just brushed it.
All right.
Yeah, it's just not ready for us yet.
All right, Dark Destroyer, stand by and stand down on the ALGO. Let's move into the next one. This is, we actually touched on this, Maker. I think we did Maker earlier in the show.
Yep.
All right, Ostrich, we did Maker, so do check back a little earlier. I'm sure you'll find it. Next one, this is good. This is Ron Legato asking for XMR, Monero. Monero, I imagine, might be doing things now?
Well, the privacy coin, yeah, it is. It's dumping right now. But, I mean, the privacy coin perp that we were looking at earlier tells us that we shouldn't expect anything out of XMR today. And looking at it, we see that's true. This is such a strong reaction off the bottom that I can't help but feel these are early signs of a reversal, but we can kind of trade sideways here for a while before we actually get that reversal here on XMR. I would keep my eyes on the weekly close. If we close down here on the weekly, that would give me pause. We could keep doing that for a few more weeks before we finally come up. Just kind of slowly, sink down here into all this volume right here, and then spring up again.
All right, XMR has got potential. I will tell you guys what I learned about XMR recently. All right, so I've been following, man, I'm not sure if I can use this keyword like live on stream, but I have been following certain uh, dark markets online,
The old
right?
Silk Road.
Following what's going on the on some of the less lit part of the internet, and there was a huge attack on the Tor network last week, or this actually last few days, and in the midst of it, one of the larger dark web markets got taken down, and I see a major pivot now. I mean, Monero was already very popular in these spaces. Now it seems that there's a bit of a movement growing to pretty much make Monero the mandatory and standard payment. I mean, it already was a popular.
Bitcoin is transparent. We went over this yesterday. The only security you have on the Bitcoin blockchain from people knowing what you're doing is obscurity. Like, no one, unless you tell people that's my wallet address, no one knows it's your wallet address.
Yeah.
But all the transactions are visible to everybody on every single block. You know, the location of every single piece of Bitcoin ever is known. It's just not necessarily known who owns those wallets.
Indeed, but Bitcoin, despite that, was still the most popular currency of use on those markets, and it seems that there's finally a very concentrated push to insist and standardize Monero as the currency of choice on these markets right now. So I couldn't help but notice last night that one of the markets that's now coming online to replace a big one that just got busted by European authorities.
It was the Australian authorities, wasn't it?
It was an Australian dude who ran a European-based dark market that got busted, I think, on the Dutch border somewhere. With that said, yes, so one of the market that's coming online to replace it is now saying, no, we are going to insist on new security standards, including mandatory Monero for everything on this market-wide. So it seems like there's a bit of a pivot in that space. Monero will probably, even if it's marginalized by the mainstream financial system, you can clearly see there will always be a place for tokens like Monero. All right, let's go into it. Hopefully we don't get shadow banned for discussing these topics on YouTube. Next one comes from Mr. Ether. GLD, is he just asking for gold, or is this a ticker?
Well, no, there's CGLD and EGLD, so because he's saying GLD, he must mean regular gold, right?
Gotcha.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the precious metals, guys.
Good deduction, Watson.
Ooh. Platinum looks great for continuation. This could be a long that we could take at the end of today. Check that.
There's three white soldiers.
Holding above the baseline. Palladium might be starting to take off here. I just wish we had a little bit more volatility or momentum. Yeah, there's nothing to do for Palladium right now. It's not giving us a strong enough bullish signal, but it has potential in this spot. Nothing to do on silver. We're underneath the daily baseline. Nothing to do on gold. We're underneath the daily baseline, and we're in a short. We shorted here, so we're still in profit today, even though we're a little in the green on the daily. I expect gold to probably continue to pull back here. When you look at it on the weekly, it looks like a very big fuck you reversal candle on gold, right? So you're like, oh, we got a breakout. Fantastic. Slap in the face. That's what you get for buying gold, trader.
Gold bugs.
Yeah. Bam. Take that. So, yeah, I think I feel pretty confident about this short right here. We're just kind of trading sideways at this point. Let's see. Commodities are all up today, with the exception of natural gas. And then the economies of the world are all up today, too. Taiwan, through the roof. Singapore, doing good. Netherlands, through the roof. Japan, through the roof. India kind of trading sideways, but it's been through the roof for months. Hong Kong through the roof, and Hong Kong, by the way, breaking out of a multi-year pattern. So January 2018 to now, we have this downtrend that we're just breaking out of starting last week. So I like this for continuation here on the Hong Kong. Generally, when you have a multi-year trend line that's broken, it has good follow through, as you might imagine. So that's very interesting looking to me. France looking pretty weak here. EU as well. Australia as well. Kind of just at resistance right now. And, you know, let's contrast that with the American markets. Sure. Oh, gosh, we're turning over here.
Man, we are on a diving board right now.
So we've been trading sideways all week, but
that is scary.
Look at that.
We're about to go skydiving, buddy.
So we have this ascending wedge up here, and we're finally breaking down on it this week. So last week we made a new high. And then what happened? Where's the strength? Where is the strength, guys? Well, I'll tell you, I think the strength is hiding in the dollar, which looks like it's going to reverse. But, you know, we still just have an early weekly buy signal on the dollar, and we've got an early weekly sell signal here on the NASDAQ.
Still time for some funny business.
Yep. S&P, we're going to have a sell signal even though it's green. Why? Because even though it's green, we're actually closing this week below last week. What happened to the strength? Where's the strength? Where's the love? Where's the love at? But yeah, if we're in this like super strong bull market and there's going to be all this inflation, and don't worry, Papa Joe Biden is going to print trillions of dollars for us.
Papa Joe.
The market doesn't seem to be buying it this week. They were much more bullish last week. And then the Dow is gapped up today to a new all-time high, but it's trading down, interestingly. Well, the Dow is just a little bit stronger than everything else. As we can see, we don't have a sell signal here. We're not closing down right now. We'll keep an eye on this. There could be an interesting divergence among some of the because the Dow is mostly blue chips, as you guys know. You know, SPY is like the general, and then NASDAQ is tech. So interestingly, blue chips are starting to strengthen up versus tech, which means that people are starting to move out of more speculative stuff and into safer things. That's how I think this.
Yeah, and with all this like funny business going on with money printing and stuff like that, there has to be a point where we start seeing divergences.
Well, Jeff Snyder and Steve Van Meter, I think they make very good arguments that there's not going to be inflation because what the Federal Reserve is doing is not true money printing. But that doesn't mean that the economy won't react for quite a while. It's going
won't go into euphoria. Yeah.
But that being said, guys, I mean, just look at the weekly. We're pretty overextended here, and I think a pullback would be normal, especially under the conditions that the economy is in, which...
Yeah. Take your profit and get
I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many unemployed people you guys know, but I know quite a few, and they are all hardworking people who are willing to work, but it is not so simple in this economy, is it?
Nope, certainly isn't.
And these things are not supposed to be correlated. All-time highs in the stock market and all-time high unemployment rates.
All right, let's power through this pile of requests we still have on the board, guys. We're gonna need to step up the pace here and dedicate a minute to each of these. Let's start with Wi-Fi for Goblin Moblin. Did we look at Wi-Fi yet? Not yet. Here comes Wi-Fi.
I gotta tell you, when you look at the Wi-Fi Bitcoin chart, it is much less appealing, isn't it? I know Wi-Fi USD has just been really
gangbuster,
really interesting looking. So I guess I'll turn off my baseline here. So the U.S. dollar pair, it's maintaining, it's staying over resistance here. I think it looks likely to continue here. But when you look at the Bitcoin pairing, you got to ask yourself why you would bother, because it's continuing to lose value against Bitcoin. And where it's finding resistance right now is essentially at 1 Bitcoin. I have it marked out here on my chart. This is like the 1 Bitcoin ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everybody got there and they're like, wait, do I want to own 1 YFI or 1 Bitcoin? And they're like, I think I want to own 1 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. What I would say, you could long YFI USD and it would make sense, but looking at the daily chart on YFI Bitcoin, I don't see why you would. What's next?
All right, that does it for YFI. Let's move into the next one. Thank you for being so brisk. Shoutouts to Goblin Moblin. Here we go. This one is for Trevor Kentop in the live chat. Would you guys mind taking a look at SNX and PRQ? Thank you for all the hard work.
PRQ.
Synthetics. Looks like it wants to pull back here. I would... It's looking a little bit wedgy. Maybe on lower time frames.
I was gonna say I'd go to lower time frames and look for a break of trend, and it looks like you have one right there. The shorter parabolic trend within it.
What, this one?
Nope. The last movement, basically. It's within the channel that you already had.
Oh, what, this one?
Yeah. I think that's a
but that's a lower time frame break. I mean, we also had this one and this one, so I don't know. I'm not convinced by these breaks necessarily, but I will note that we're getting divergences. This is the 12-hour divergence right here. We're getting a sell signal on 12-hour. We're getting a sell signal on the daily. I would say, just for right now, it appears a little exhausted, and maybe it'll pull back towards $9 a little bit more. Maybe just kind of hang out in this area before taking on.
I would target the bottom of that channel as my TP1, and then if it keeps running, let it go.
What you mean, the
tighter channel? Yeah, no, come to the bottom of that channel like a candle over. Yeah, I'd put like TP1 there.
Are you talking about shorting this?
Yeah, I would say this would be. I would be looking for a short position if I were trading that. I'm saying it looks weak.
Oh well, I would not. I would not, because we're above the daily baseline.
Yeah, the same figuratively, it looks weak, and that's what I would be looking for. But we're above the 60 hole, so yeah, you're not looking for any shorts.
Yeah. Okay. Next is Perk, right?
Parsec, PRQ. Yep, Perk. I guess you could call it.
No, that's gotta be a stock.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Ooh, looks strong. That's
This,
a full signal.
This is a full signal as things stand. So as you can see, we are above the previous high, but that's not part of the signal, but that's good. We're above the daily baseline. We're above zero on our oscillator, and we have rising volatility and momentum. So, and our momentum is enough. So
B-Flow asked a question a little bit earlier in the chat, and this is perfect example of it. So he said, like, going through the alt charts on some days, you have so many different signals. How do you pick the ones? So what you go through is you pick the ones that you like, and then you go back through and make sure to look for ones that have like a perfect setup. So like this one, in my opinion, would have everything you're looking for. You have rising explosion level. You have WATA confirming above the dead zone. You actually have icing on the cake with unnatural volume coming in. Also icing on the cake with a new high above it, which suggests continuation, which isn't normally part of it. And you're above the 60 hole. This is a perfect signal. This would be one that has the most strength. So like this would be an absolute take.
Yeah, this basically, I mean, it's still not a guarantee, but there's basically not much more you could ask for.
Nothing's a guarantee.
So this kind of checks all our boxes. So I do like Parsec in this spot. Unfortunately, this doesn't really trade on any of the places where we trade. So there's
She's a beaut, Clark.
yeah, but it's all you, buddy. Oh, it's also on Uniswap. So I guess I do trade on Uniswap. So
all right. Well, we'll keep our eyes on Parsec potential. Good looker for the.
You just reminded me of our coin.
It looks beautiful here on the linear chart too, doesn't it? You can even see like today we came back down, we retested the high, and we're closing above it. So everything good over here on Uniswap too.
All right, let's keep it rolling. 26 minutes in the show, and I got quite a few here. This one comes from Tech Engine. He asked for IXC USD and ZIL USDT. Does he mean ICX?
He must mean ICX.
I think you meant ICX, big homie.
Yeah,
Icon.
Could be iShares.
Nothing really to do here for us. We're at resistance. We're not curled up on our oscillator. We don't have any volatility. Momentum's kind of there, but there's nothing for us to do. We could easily pull back a little bit more to retest this area. So for right now, ICX is no-go. What's the other one?
ZIL USDT.
Zilqua.
ZIL, I do really like this right here. We're getting a very nice bullish divergence on the daily. As you can see, we make a higher low on our oscillator while price makes a lower low.
That looks like a perfect descending channel breakout.
It's not broken yet.
It's not, but it looks like it's sizing up to be a perfect textbook.
Yep. I would wait to get like an actual break of this right here.
So close.
And we're just not there yet, but I think ZIL has a good potential here to at least retest the highs of like 80-90 cents, if nothing else, which is a decent sized movement. So while we're under resistance, though, we could still come back down and test here again, which is also a not insignificant movement.
All right,
What's
that's ZIL for Tech Engine. Let's move into the next one. I see Valdas Bo in the live chat. THETA, please. Yep, let's take a quick look at THETA.
THETA was almost a signal for me last night, but I couldn't take it because it just closed barely below the 13.
Yeah, we're below the daily baseline on THETA, so there's nothing for us to do here on the Bitcoin pairing. It also really feels like we're at resistance right now. As far as the USDT pairing, we do not have a daily long signal today. We're not above zero on our oscillator right now, so we cannot take this trade.
Someone light a fire under Bitcoin's ass here.
I do like the break of trend here, though. That is nice, but it's not there yet as far as the system that we utilize goes.
I'll be interested in it. If we get a good pullback in THETA, I'll be loading up myself a little HODL bag because I did a little bit more research on THETA and it is very interesting.
We did have a pullback 2 days ago, dude.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying if we do, I don't.
I know. I'm fucking. Like what? You didn't just buy this awful wick right here?
You didn't nail the dip. No, I don't watch alts as hard as most people do. I just take the signals day to day.
Of course. What's next?
All right, THETA has been covered. Let's move into the next few. Nice little pace afoot here. $5 super chat just came in from BFlow saying thank you guys. All right, thank you BFlow.
Mr. Flowers.
$5 super chat, always appreciated around here. But let's move into the next one.
Do you think in the future people will be like weirded out and say like, oh, a nice Lincoln?
You mean in reference to the Prezi?
Like a $5 bill? Yeah, like a Benjamin?
Yep.
Who says that about $5 bills?
People who never could find Benjamins because they were very impoverished. So we got excited about fives. Okay, Alex?
All right, wave your Lincolns in the air, gentlemen.
If you feel sorry for Jason right now, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
There you go. Pity party Jason. Get it here, folks.
All right. Next one's for Stun Gun.
Pump my 1 inch.
He's asking for IOTA. Did we do IOTA?
I think we did.
We did. Yes, we did IOTA for BFlow earlier. So IOTA is done. If you missed it, just stand by for timestamps. Next one is we did. All right. Link Ostrich and Michael Lapola in the live chat. Can we look at Link, please? Both of them are requesting Link. Let's have a look.
We looked at Link, but we didn't like look at Link, so this is strong. We'll have a continuation signal at the end of today. We're not making a new high, so this is not the strongest of the charts that we've looked at, but it's strong enough that if you took a continuation signal off of it, I wouldn't blame you, especially because we're over these highs right here on this one. So even though we're not over this high, we're still over some significant resistance, enough that I don't feel terrible about it.
And the Bitcoin pairing has not been weak at all in this little run up for BTC, because I took it yesterday at close and I'm up 2% on the position. So
yeah, we're still kind of trading sideways here. Our oscillator is resetting. This looks good.
I like that going into that, we're seeing that explosion levels beginning to rise now on that last chart. So volatility is expanding now on the daily.
What's next?
All right, that would do it for Link. Moving into the next one. This is for agency Litecoin Bitcoin pairing, please. LTC BTC.
I'm surprised we haven't heard more Litecoin requests.
It hasn't been doing much. It's still hanging around its lows right now. Yeah. Definitely until we get some sort of long signal on it, which we do not have, I just wouldn't do anything with it. We'll keep our eyes on this this downtrend right here. If we break that, it'll be a good sign that we'll finally get some continuation upwards.
All right, Litecoin Bitcoin. I got to speed through these because I got a few left. Might not even be able to get to all of them, but this next one comes from also agency. He asked for RUNE BTC. Let's look at RUNE.
I feel like we did look at RUNE earlier. We'll check it real quick. But yeah, it's making a new high right now. We've got a continuation long signal. This one is one of the stronger ones.
I think we are still in RUNE.
Yeah.
Yep, we're still in RUNE, currently up 12.4%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've already hit TP1 on RUNE, so we're at stop loss to break even, so just let her fly.
Yeah, so you could enter continuation long signal at the end today, and it would make sense. What's next?
All right, that's RUNE for agency. Thank you. Congrats to anybody riding the successful trade over here. This next one comes from user Who's in the Twitch lives chat. What do you guys think about Cardano or VET? I don't think we looked at either Cardano or VET.
I did look at that. Cardano is it's just kind of languishing sideways here. I like I said yesterday, I think we're going to get a pullback towards this area one more time.
How about VeChain?
I'll look at VeChain for a second time. There is nothing to do on VeChain. It is just trading sideways.
All right.
Nothing to do at all.
Beautiful. Be sure to check out the timestamps after the show for coins you might have missed earlier in the stream. Next, Jonah loved the show. Blast from the past. Might be stirring. ICX is worth a look. I think we looked at ICX already. Yes, we did. All right, but shout outs to Jonah. And moving into the next one. This one is for Super Relax in the live chat. I love that name. Can we look at Digibyte DGB?
Sure.
We haven't heard Digibyte in a while. That's going to be an heirloom.
I'm sure this, yeah. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. Not super interested in this, man. Yeah, so it just keeps losing money against Bitcoin, and I don't see any signs of that stopping. It's making new lows against Bitcoin today. So yeah, not interested in it. What's next?
All right, gonna pass on the Digibyte.
Yeah.
Next one is gonna be BZ.
Buy Bitcoin, buddy.
Yes, buy Bitcoin. Skokie Cat in the live chat requesting BZRX. BZRX. BZRX.
Going berserks. Oh, Caesar Berserks.
Kind of the same situation with BCX, where it's just in the process of making new lows against Bitcoin. Right now, it's just trading sideways at this level. It's traded sideways out of the out of this downtrend right here. That is bullish, but we could still make a new low and retest the trend from this side. So it just there's nothing for us to do with it right now. I'll look at the USDT pairing. And this is strong, but the strength is from Bitcoin, as you guys have seen. So if you took a continuation signal off of this, like maybe tomorrow, if we make a new high and we curl up there, I would understand why. But I would really keep my eyes on the Bitcoin pairing and ask yourself if I would just make more gains if I just held Bitcoin instead.
Mm-hmm.
You should look at all the Bitcoin pairings on these alts and ask yourself for any of these alts you're considering. If it keeps going down in Bitcoin cross, why don't you just hold Bitcoin, right? Why not just hold Bitcoin?
All right, let's keep it moving. Thank you for the BZRX request. All right, somebody right now asking for AAVE. No, we haven't looked at AAVE yet, but let's pull up AAVE next. Smiles J in the live chat requesting AAVE.
Having a good time.
So, continuation long signal yesterday. Today, we're just kind of trading sideways. Let's look at lower time frames.
I think you could still possibly take that. There might be a slight pullback.
Yeah.
Down to
maybe.
that shelf.
Maybe we'll retest the shelf. Maybe not. For
true.
now, as long as AAVE is making new highs, I wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah, AAVE looks strong there.
Yeah. We've reclaimed this trend line. So yeah, a little bit of sideways would be fine here. Would still be bullish. Even a pullback to here would still be bullish. So, I would, if you're in it, I would just stay in it for now. There's no signs that it's time to get out. What's next?
All right, time to stick it out in the AAVE trade for Smiles J and Goblin Moblin in the live chat. Also asking for AAVE. Shoutouts to both of you. Next one is Agency as well as Release the Kraken says, what do you guys think about BAT and Waves? So we got two requests in here. Let's look at BAT first and then Waves.
Ouch.
I feel like BAT's in the same situation as EOS BTC right now.
Yeah, this is right now. There's just nothing to really recommend this to us. We're crossed under on the daily, so if we somehow decided to get in here, we're already getting an exit signal.
I would watch for lower lows on this.
Yeah, right now this does not inspire a whole load of confidence in me. If we could get some kind of reversal signal, that would be fantastic. I know the USDT pairing looks good here because we're hanging out above the trend. So you can see right here, we kind of break below the trend and we recover above it, but we don't have a continuation signal yet. So there's really nothing for us to do on BAT either way we look at it. What's next?
Other half of the request was for Waves. Let's take a quick look at Waves.
Making waves.
Looks really good here.
Might be a full signal.
So you can see we break the trend here. We retest it. We hold it. We're above zero. We've got WATA firing. We've got rising momentum, and we're below the qualifying line. But even if we were just slightly above it, I think I would probably be willing to take this. You could easily take this, I think, back up to $8 or so, $7 or $7.5, $8. I think Waves looks good here.
Yep, I totally agree.
I mean, just look at it on the weekly. Even the weekly is basically like, okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, it'd have to take a pretty big dump to
Retest, come up, retest. Maybe. All right, yeah. So Waves, good. What's next?
All right, surf's up, boys. Let's get ready to ride some waves. Here we go. Next one is BFlow LRC USDT. Loop ring.
Loop ring was one that I did not take yesterday because it was too overextended. It was a signal though, which looks like it was the right idea. But this could be the baseline pullback. Look at that 3-bar play on the daily.
Yeah. I like Link here to continue up to at least 50 cents,
Loop ring.
maybe 55 cents. Retest the highs right here, especially after we've broken the downtrend, retested the daily baseline right here. So for those reasons, I think a continuation long here would make sense, maybe at the end of today.
Mm-hmm.
What would that look like? Yeah, essentially this puts our first take profit right here, right around 50 cents. The next one's right around 57 cents. Yeah. And then our stop loss is below this daily candle right here. So everything looks good. It's below this candle here too. So I think the setup makes sense. There's a sense to it. As far as the weekly goes, though, I will say I wonder if we're running out of momentum a little bit. We're going to see how this week ends up closing.
All right.
What's next?
That's loop ring for you. It doesn't make sense if it doesn't make sats. All right. Let's have a look. This one's from Adam Cohen asking for Ethereum because I'm pretty sure we didn't look at Ethereum yet. Or did we?
Have we not looked at Ethereum?
Yep.
I guess we didn't.
I think we didn't. That's no biggie. Let's get it to Ethereum now.
No continuation long signal here yet. There's not much for us to do. I worry a little bit about the resistance that is above us here in this spot. You can see we're just kind of like tapping this area where there was a point of control. I do expect to pull back towards like 1,100 at least here on Ethereum. Retest this resistance as support. But I think Ethereum has a better chance of continuing than Bitcoin does. The Ethereum-Bitcoin pairing is strong here. Why do I keep typing out all of Ethereum? That's Bitcoin. There we go. We don't have a long signal here on the daily or anything. Just kind of hanging out at the point of control. But as you can see on the weekly, we're holding above this broken weekly trend here, this weekly downtrend. So as long as we're above this weekly downtrend, I foresee Ethereum appreciating against Bitcoin over the midterm. I think this is a longer term chart. So at least over the midterm, it looks good for Bitcoin, or it looks good for Ethereum against Bitcoin. For the next couple of weeks, though, as long as we're underneath the weekly baseline, we could just, kind of over the baseline. Oh, yeah. As well, while we turn this resistance here into support. What's next?
All right, Ethereum. You heard it here, folks. Don't forget that little story we touched on at the beginning of the show. Ethereum on exchange order books at all-time lows. Could be a recipe for new all-time highs in the king of smart contract crypto. All right, that's it for Ethereum. Next one is going to be Dash for Ostrich. Ostrich in the live chat asked for Dash, and we got 4 more requests left, so we managed to clean this list out nicely.
Man, I feel like we just went through the whole crypto market.
I like how Dash is holding above support here. Resistance, turn support. Let's see what this line is. Oh, look at what this line is right here.
Nice shelf.
Very strong resistance here. Resistance in this area, support here. Resistance, kind of resistance, like before we even get up to that area. But boom, we break down below it and recover today. So, or excuse me, this is the weekly. So we are starting to recover. As long as we can hold over there on the weekly, great. But right now, now that I'm looking at the actual daily, here we are on the daily. There's pretty strong resistance above us right now. There's no continuation long signal quite yet. I'm just not sold on Dash on the daily here. But if we do hold the week above this 128.50 support level, I like that. I like holding this level. What's next?
Alright, that's Dash. Final few, guys, and we've got 5 minutes left in the show, so we managed to wrap this up perfectly. Fuzzy TV, did we look at Neo? Did Neo bottom out yet? Has Neo bottomed? Let's take a look.
Let's use line here.
Sorry guys, but I'm about to push the buy button on Bitcoin. Push her up another level.
We did. Why won't you do the thing? Just do what I tell you, right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did not break this trend, unfortunately. So we are still below the weekly trend. Right now, there is not much to do with regular candles. There we go. Right now, there is just, unfortunately, not much for us to do with Neo. If we do get a continuation long signal here, like if we curl back up on our oscillator, if we move back up, we break, and we break above resistance again, then it would be very interesting. But these last few days look pretty rough here. This is a nice, well, not nice for us, but a very strong 3 black crows pattern on top of, we're getting a reversal signal here, pulling back on momentum. Overall, I'm not super interested in Neo Bitcoin in this spot. The USDT pairing, similarly, we've got a break of trend here. I've shown you guys a lot of bullish charts, and now looking at this, is this nearly as bullish as any of the other ones that I showed you? It's not as bullish. We're not making a new high right here. We're not even, we didn't even retest a low and are curling up to start making new highs. We're just kind of hanging out at resistance after breaking our trend here. So I don't think there's anything to do on Neo. I'm not super interested in it at this moment. But if we curled up here and made a new high at the same time, then that would be interesting, right? So,
do you know what new people to the space just heard out of that? So
what?
You're telling me it's
Yeah, tell me it's a chance.
So all that bad news, but there's a chance.
Okay, last couple requests. 2 of them are questions, so let's get the questions out of the way. First one's from Smiles J. Do you guys long ETH USD and ETH USDT on Bybit simultaneously to build USDT and have ETH if you have a solid setup?
You should basically never double long.
You're like arbitraging yourself, like
no. It's you're just doubling your risk essentially.
Yeah.
So the best way to utilize the USDT and the perp on Bybit is that perpetual contracts are better for shorting than for longing, and linear contracts are better for longing than for shorting. That has to do with the way the math works, but essentially, when you are long 1x on the perpetual contracts, you're actually long 2x because you own the underlying, and then you're long the underlying on top of owning it. So you're like doubly long. Mm-hmm. But when you short on perpetual swap, it's like selling into cash because it's mathematically equivalent to that. So you can go actually short X, but you end up being 2x short when you short on linear contracts because you end up having to borrow and then you're selling, and so then as things go down in price, it also is decreasing in value what you have to return at the end. So I know that's all really confusing, but hey, you asked a technical question, so you got a technical answer. My advice to you is just don't double long anything. And for those of you who are interested in what the differences are between perpetual contracts and linear contracts, or perpetual swaps versus linear swaps, I advise you to Google that. But they are different mathematically, and so what you do on them should be different.
All right, Smiles J.
And as well, I'd like to add, when trading with risk, because it sounds like you're not trading that way already, and that's how we trade within the group. Just trading by risk would let you know already that I don't want to put it on two of them. I just want to put the amount of risk that I want onto one of them and then find something else. You wouldn't put the same onto two different pairs. Just by trading with risk, you're going to learn that that's not something that you want to do in the first place. So if that's something that you want to learn, we are a risk-based trading platform, and I mean that's basically all we do, man. That's what we teach. So make sure to join the Discord.
All right,
and be sure to like and subscribe.
That too. All right, next question is from Boris Bitcoin. Hey guys, apparently Biden is making a speech regarding economic policy tonight at 7:15 Eastern. Do you think it'll be risky?
I hate that he reminds me of the Crypt Keeper.
Do you think it'll be risky to put on trades tonight at the usual market closing time? What do you think, guys?
I think that his speech means literally nothing to the workings of the economy, and that whatever is going to happen tomorrow is going to happen tomorrow. Now, I have shown you the charts that there is weakness already in the charts. I showed you how the NASDAQ is basically a short at the end of this week, and the week closes tomorrow, guys, for the traditionals. It's not like crypto where we wait till Sunday to see what happens. So we got like one day left to pump out of that sell signal on NASDAQ, and then SPY is weak, and the only one that's like kind of strong is the Dow. But the Dow keeps trading down every day. It just gaps up overnight through some after-hours trading of who knows what financial entities, and then trades down all day long. You go look at the chart yourself, you'll see it. So my advice to you would be to not worry so much about speeches that anybody is giving as far as the markets go.
Yeah. People always just find a way to correlate news to price action. It's always past tense. Don't worry about it. Look for things in the future that you can tell weakness in the markets like we're seeing now. That's the way to do it. Don't let other people guide what you're doing.
Yeah, if they give a speech tomorrow and then the market goes down, people will say, oh, well, the market went down because people are afraid that the stimulus means inflation, which inflation means it's bad for the economy, so the economy went down because people sold. Or if the economy goes up, then people will be like, oh, well, then people like the speech because the stock market went up. So then that means that everybody thinks the stimulus is going to fix the economy. So look, it's like people build the narrative after the fact. Okay, just don't worry about it.
It's all reactionary.
Just don't worry.
All right, stick to the charts. Skip the news. Keep your eyes on the charts. Follow your setups and your systems, guys.
All you dream.
We talked about this pretty heavily in our mentorship session the other week when we were discussing the media chapters of Jesse Stein's Insider Buy Super Stocks. Jesse Stein goes over it pretty succinctly. You know, in just two brief chapters, he shows you case after case after case about how the media builds a narrative around stuff after the fact. And the financial news media in particular has a tendency to get things wrong at critical moments because, they're part of the crowd. And the crowd is always wrong at critical moments. That's how the markets work.
All right.
That's right. We got a book club, y'all.
All right. We're heading into the overtime segment here. And I realistically have only one request left. And I would really hope to get to it if we can still fit it in. Cody McAllister asking for Ripple. And let's just look at Ripple.
I didn't know it was going to be Ripple.
And last but not least, well,
I've been a little bit more discerning before I said yes. It's like, wait, what favor do you want?
No.
There's nothing for us to do on Ripple right now. We're crossed under. I entered along over here for the group, and then we crossed right back under, and I had to exit yesterday. Which, hey, thank you, Time Transformation, for your timely exit signal. Yeah, there's nothing to do for XRP right now.
All right, pass on
Yeah, we don't even have a cross up here on the USD pair, so yep, just nothing for us to do.
All right, forget XRP, guys. Long Bitcoin for life. Okay, one question we can squeeze in. This is a relatively simple one. Fuzzy TV in the live chat asks, I was curious about one thing. If I short 1x, can I get liquidated because liquidation shows at 9999999? I mean, it's unlikely, but you never know. Yeah, can you get liquidated at 1x? I don't think you...
You cannot get liquidated at 1x because 1x is the equivalent of selling into cash. So you're not borrowing any money in that case. You have the exact same amount in your account as is in the account. So there's just as many contracts as there are in the account. You're borrowing $0 because it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so you cannot be liquidated.
All right, Fuzzy TV, thank you for the request. Kind of a new name to the live chat. Be sure to subscribe and join us every day. We do this 5 days a week. We do your standard day trading, daily chart analysis type podcast here. So thank you for joining us. And this goes for this to everybody else. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and follow. We do.
Tell your friends about us. Tell your kids about us. It's hard enough as getting shadow banned.
Yeah. Hey kids, let me tell you about these guys I saw. We don't care, Dad.
Thing called Bitcoin. We already know what that is, Dad.
No one cares about your Bitcoins.
My significant other still thinks it's internet play money. So.
Remember, my mom was like, Bitcoins. That's like pieces of coin, right? It's like pirate booty. It's like, no, it is not.
Yeah, I want to go with pirate booty. Get some of that R coin.
Yeah, I lost all my money.
I see a lot of chatter regarding 1 inch in the live chat. Maybe not a chart request, but you can maybe pull it up while I
without that big 1 inch.
Mix to Mix says, "What's up with the 1 inch event? I just figured out how to use it last night for some XDC." Also asking, should I stake 1 inch? Yeah, a lot of talk about 1 inch. Yes, I do think they're putting on some kind of liquidity event. You submit liquidity to the protocol and you're going to collect the rewards. Something I think we were talking about yesterday as well. There is an incentive. The big returns come to the early stakers. Is it going to be worth it? Could be. Don't know enough about it, but generally yes, the first few people who do provide liquidity collect the bulk of the early rewards, and you got to do your research, I guess. Let's see what Alex thinks about the chart.
I think it's pretty strong. We finally got a breakout of that trend that we've been looking for. So we are above it now. We've closed above it on the daily, or at least we will as of today, but we don't even have a cross-up signal yet on our Fisher. So we kind of want to wait for a confirmation signal that of directional bias. It would also be nice to get a new high here above $1.50, $1.55. But
I thought you meant that 122. I'm like, we need a new high. that wicked all the way to 122.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we need a close high.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
But yeah, I think 1 inch is starting to really shape up here.
All right, 1 inch shaping up. You heard it here. All right. Going a little bit over an hour. It's been a great show. Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Hold on. Got to clear my throat there. All right, Ron Legato. My wife won't like Bitcoin until it buys her a new house. Yes, and then she will be a huge eternal fan of Bitcoin.
And then she'll probably say something like, he got so lucky.
Bitcoin 40K. Is it at 40K? Yeah, we tapped it and then reversed. So currently 39,800, but we did tap 40K.
It was a good hourly close. I think that we still have a potential here to keep pressing to the upside.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, take one final look at Bitcoin if you could, please. I see someone new to the chat asking if we could just quickly review Bitcoin one last time before we exit.
Yeah, guys, we're trading sideways inside of this point of control. You see it right here. You can see we're just literally just moving up and down across it. So for now, this feels kind of bearish on lower time frames. We're starting to pull in some bearish divergences. We're underneath the 15-minute baseline. The hourly is, like you said, it's a little stronger, but we're still crossed under here.
Mm-hmm.
We're still crossed under on the hourly. It's been really volatile, or I should say,
choppy.
Choppy. Thank you. So I would actually keep my eyes on a break of this trend. If we can break that, then I would want to take that maybe down to like this area right here. So like 36,500. Retest previous high right here, resistance as support, and then maybe try and make a new high.
I'm willing to
Break up into this area.
yeah, I'm willing to bet that we hit my second take profit at 40,290 before daily close.
Could be.
I'm willing to put my behind on the line for that.
Okay.
But after that, we could reject. So
you guys heard it here. Jason has bet his behind. Any takers?
well, I have my money on the line. So
All right, guys, that's it. Another 2-hour installment of your favorite daily day trading, Bitcoin, crypto, all market podcast. That's another breaking Bitcoin episode wrapped up for Thursday. We're going to be back Friday to wrap up the week. Things looking hella bullish. Unless we reject from 40 and we don't get above it, then we're going to be crying, I'm sure, all the way down to 25K. Mix. Yep, what's up?
I said I won't. Like no? we get to play it both ways, baby. We just have to wait for the evidence.
Yep. Hopefully our traders will be on the right side of the market, kind of the way they usually are. Tamir.
They will be if they join the Discord.
Yes, that's right, guys. Do get into the Discord. We do have lots of interesting...
By the way, guys, we almost have a CME gap fill here. As you can see, gap will be filled at 40,500.
Boom.
Beautiful.
That's enough for my take profit.
Right
saying,
on.
Boys.
Yeah, it's just been one killer trade after the next. If you guys want a taste of the action, join the Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And if you end up pulling the trigger and joining the premium, you'll get access to all sorts of awesome training materials, including, of course, our legendary signal system from our professional analysts. So something for everybody over at our Discord. Yep, Mr. Ether just posted the link to the live chat.
You how to make a system of your own. You don't have to rely on our stuff, guys.
The whole point is to teach you how to make it yourself, guys. That's what we do. We teach you how to do it yourself.
It's true. We teach you how to do it yourself. And but if you are the type that wants to just take the signals and follow the lead of very successful traders, very professional traders in the space, well, you know what? You can do that by joining the premium. I wouldn't fault you for skipping the education and just going straight to the freebies that these guys put out, because their signals are solid. But of course, don't sleep on the education. Learn how to do this yourself. That's also something we can help provide.
Teach you a lot about yourself.
Yes, we can help teach you to do a lot with that. But now that we've gone about a little over 2 hours, it really is time to wrap the show, everyone.
Hit the door.
Just wanted to shout out last second will be Mr. Ether. I don't know if you guys were in the Discord like in the afternoon yesterday around dinner time. Suddenly the general chat had like 24 people or more in it. Just general chat blew up, I noticed.
Dude, this price action brings the FOMOers out of the woodwork, man.
General voice or general...
General voice was popping.
Oh, that was Mr. Ether.
That was Mr. Ether,
yeah.
Exactly. So I wanted to do a little thank you to Mr. Ether. He was ringleading a serious raid of our server, and he was live and talking charts and taking technical questions. So Mr. Ether was really holding down the community yesterday. So much love to Robert.
Always something going on, guys.
Yep, definitely. And it's always nice to have people like Robert in the community to do all these things. So thank you, Robert. Your contribution to the community is invaluable. Thank you. And thank you, I'm sure, from everybody who enjoyed picking Robert's brain yesterday.
Alex, and Robert were talking this morning, and we were going over a few things in TradingView. And we've all been doing this for quite a bit of time, but each of us ended up teaching one another about something today that we didn't know about TradingView, which is crazy.
Yep, it's always nice to collaborate and bounce ideas and knowledge off of one another. We have a very dedicated bunch of people here. We're not just window shopping. We're not just LARPing like other crypto pump and dump groups. You know, we're doing it for real here, guys, and I think it's reflected in our results and in the passion of our members. With that said, guys, shout outs to Jonah Love the Show and Ron Legato, Mixed Mix, make sure you subscribe, and Super Relax, Fuzzy TV, Mr. Ether, Goblin Moblin, Boris Bitcoin, Skokie Cat, David Rice, and many, many more. Boris Bitcoin, Peckham 08, you know who you all are. Thank you again for joining and following us in such a dedicated fashion. Gonna move to wrap right now. I'm gonna let our analysts get the final words in. Alex, you first.
Trade safely, guys. I would not take any huge positions at resistance. There are plenty of alts that look like they're in the process of reversing, and they have broken resistance. Those look really good. The ones that are sitting at resistance, just show a little bit of patience. You'll be rewarded for that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And especially, always remember the time frame that you're in. We're going into Friday tomorrow. We're going nice kind of sideways here, but to the upside. I think that we probably have a little bit more upside in here before we turn the weekend. That's when we're really going to make the deciding decision on whether we're going to retrace back to fill that gap or in the 20s, or if we're going to power through to the upside. So right now, being patient and just looking through the charts, finding strengths, finding weaknesses, that's what you should be focusing on right now. Don't go all in on Bitcoin going to the moon or Bitcoin going all the way down. Like, it's going to go sideways for a while, guys.
Thanks again, folks. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notifications when we go live.
All right, much love. Moving to wrap. Catch you all
See you
tomorrow.
guys tomorrow. Trade safely.
Cheers, everyone.